This episode is sponsored by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro for free at RamseySolutions.com/invest. You're listening to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires, where we talk investing, retirement, building wealth, and outrageous generosity.
Today's question comes from Thomas in Nevada. He says, I hear you talk about pay for your kids' college or higher education. Why is this a requirement? I'm not trying to pass off responsibility. I went through college and paid my way through. My parents were capable of helping me pay for college, but they went through college on their own and said they learned a lot from budgeting and needing to control their spending in order to pay for school. I plan on helping them start out with books and rent, but not planning to fund their higher education decisions. Is this a mental change that I need to make, or are there different amounts that I can help? This is an interesting question, and it comes up a lot. Baby step 5, if you're listening and you're not sure about the baby steps, baby step 5 is there to set aside money for kids' college, whether it's a 529, an ESA. It comes after investing 15%, and it comes before paying off your home. So it's important to know where that sits in this whole equation. And, Dave, we've never said, we give some percentages and some guidelines for some of the other steps. But for this one, we don't say, and you put 10% for college, or you do $700 a month. We don't tell you exactly how much to put, because there is a little bit of a discussion that goes into this, right? And I think that's the first place I want to start. You need to be having a discussion with your kids regardless, whether you plan on having a full fund set up for them, whether you plan on matching them dollar for dollar, or whether you're like, hey, I don't plan on contributing anything, which I will say I have questions about that. But the key is you do need to have those conversations, and you need to have them early, because as their parent, it is up to you to help them understand what that process is. It is up to you to make sure that they're making a good plan, a plan that they can actually follow through with without debt. I don't think it's a good idea to just leave them out here flapping in the breeze and hope for the best. And kind of going back to my first thought, Dave, and this is just coming from Jade talking, I can't imagine not wanting to help them in some way with college. Mm-hmm. They're my kids. Mm-hmm. So I might not, depending on financial situations, I might not be able to afford for them to go to Harvard, right? Or afford for them to go to even the nicest state school in the area. But I want to help them financially in some way. And I do think that that should be a goal. Even if you say, okay, yeah, we're going to match you dollar for dollar. I want you working, and then we're going to put this much in. I do think that there should be a little help there, simply because, I'm your parent. I want to help you out. But
paying for college is not a requirement.
It's not a requirement.
He said requirement, and it's not a requirement. It's not a moral thing. You're not an immoral parent if you don't pay for college. I've often told single moms making $25,000 that, we need to teach that kid how to get scholarships. Yes. And how to work and how to pick a cheap school, because they should just rise up. If that's you, if you're a single mom making $25,000, your kid, you're not a bad mom because you didn't pay for their college.
Absolutely.
They should just rise up and call you blessed simply for feeding their little butts, okay? So really, in that situation, that's a big deal. Now, in his case, he's able to pay, and then you can start asking the question. So the way I want to ask the question is this: is not what is a requirement or what is a moral or ethical. It's more back to what you were saying is, okay, my job, my moral requirement as a parent is to give you the tools you need to succeed in this world.
That's right.
Brush your teeth so you have some. That's a good tool to have, okay?
Yeah.
Tell the truth. And, admitting you lied, little less punishment, but still lots of punishment, because crooks don't succeed in this world. Mm-mm. My job is to grow you into an adult that will help you win. Mm-hmm. Part of becoming successful as an adult is to engage in a lifetime of learning.
That's right.
Never stop learning. If the last time you read a book was you're a senior in high school and you've never done any other training of any kind since high school, you're probably not succeeding big time.
Oh, no.
Well, so-and-so, Dave Thomas started Wendy's, and he was just a high school graduate. Yes, but Dave Thomas didn't start and run Wendy's only on a high school education. He was self-taught. He read. He learned. He grew. He was a lifetime learner, even though he didn't have the degrees or letters or licenses after his name.
Mm-hmm.
But did he build something the size of Wendy's on the back of only a high school? No, he did not. 100% no. Have I built Ramsey Solutions based on a 4-year degree and the level of knowledge I got then? Absolutely not. If I stopped learning in 1982 when I graduated, Ramsey wouldn't be here.
Right, absolutely.
So a lifetime of learning is your job. To instill in them, you're going to be a reader, because leaders are readers. You're going to be engaged in some kind of learning. Now, then can I encourage that with some level of help? Minimum, as you said, don't leave them flapping in the breeze. Show them how to do it.
Yes.
Minimum, show them how to do it. It is your job to show them how to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to pay for it, fine, but it's your job to show them how to do it. Don't expect a 17-year-old to figure this out.
Thank you, Dave.
They don't have the equipment, okay? Your job is to go, okay, here's where scholarships come from. Here's where work comes from. Teach them to work. Teach them to save. Teach them to budget. Yeah, I'm for all of that. Like, I've got a friend that was a professional football player, made bazillion dollars, refused to pay. His dad was blue collar, refused to pay for his college. This guy refused to pay for a dime of his kid's college. But he showed him exactly how to go do it in detail. So he upheld that part of it. In my case, I showed him exactly how to do it, and I paid for it.
That's great.
Because I believe the power of knowledge, not of degrees. Degrees don't have any power. Knowledge is the currency.
Yeah.
And I believe in that, and we paid for our kids' college. The other reason we paid for it is that way we could control it and help them navigate that process. Go to a school you can afford. Behave while you're at the school you can afford. And I'm holding a wallet over the top of your head making you do that. And so you're going to behave or we're going to cut this off.
And they've got to understand that debt is not an option. Because that's the thing. If you cut off the money spigot and say it's up to you, they've got to understand the implication of debt. Because my parents told me, all 4 of us early on, you better be smart or you better be good at sports because we're not paying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, smart, got it. Got the scholarship, athletic scholarship as well. But I still didn't understand the implication of debt.
Yep.
And so I still took out some.
So no debt. Pick a degree that you can actually make some money with.
Yeah.
And go to a school that's the least expensive and work your butt off while you're in school. I worked 40 to 60 hours a week while I was in college, and I didn't die from it. Nobody paying for mine.
You probably became a better student because of it, Dave.
Yeah, not really.
Well, I think they say part-time is where you benefit.
All I did was work. And, but anyway, it wasn't healthy. But I think I had $3,200 in student loans or something when I came out. But that was a whole nother
different
world.
Time.
Tuition. If I told you what the tuition was, y'all would all laugh. So, but anyway, how the heck I got $3,200 in debt with that low tuition? I kind of want to know what
it was now, Dave.
Impossible. But the point is, you do not have a moral imperative to pay for your kids' college. You do have a moral imperative to highlight the importance of knowledge and show them how to get it. And if you want to help them get it, that's okay too. But save up and pay for it. And getting it is not using debt to get it. So really good discussion, Jade.
Love it.
Really good.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires. To learn more about how to plan for retirement, visit RamseySolutions.com/retire or click the link in the show notes. Ramsey Solutions is a paid non-client promoter of participating pros. Learn more at RamseySolutions.com/smartvestor.